questions, feel free to direct those to the chat and we'll monitor those. I think we're going to go ahead and get started for the sake of time. My name is Rafael. I'm one of the educational advisors for EOPS. Along with me are Armando.
Hello, everyone. My name is Armando Mendoza Quiroz. I'm one of the educational advisors as well for EOPNS.
Good afternoon. My name is Manuel Rosas. I'm one of the counselors for EOPS as well. We'll go ahead and get started, right? Okay. So thank you guys for being here, those that are here present and those that are on Zoom. A little bit of a background about EOPS, as you could see on the screen. Really, it was born in the 1960s when then Governor Ronald Reagan signed it into California law. And the whole premise and purpose of it was to assist students that were disadvantaged, that were first-generation college students, that were low income, regardless of their ethnicity, religion, identity, status. And that's the reason why it was initiated back then. What you see on the screen is also the nickel and the horseshoe nails. There's a backstory to that. That's the official EOPS adopted logo. And the story goes, there was a young man in the Deep South, and on his way to meet a lady friend, he didn't feel so positive about himself because he only had a nickel in his pocket. But along the way, he picked up a couple horseshoe nails. And the story goes that the jingle that it made in his pocket gave him a little bit more of a pep in his step. He walked more upright, chest high, felt more confident, and he went on his way. So that's what we like to believe we do in EOPS, is fill students with confidence to succeed. There's no guarantee, of course, right? But we provide all the resources. And much like this story, we don't know if this young man had a second date or got married, but that's irrelevant. The point was he felt confident on his way to meet his lady friend. And that's what we like to think we provide for all of our students that are enrolled in our program. We are a counseling program. I'd like to say we're more of a case management style type of program. The reason for that is because we do require students to meet with us 3 times per semester. Typically, they'll see one of us or one of the advisors consistently throughout the semester. And we know other individuals come in 4, 5, 6 times. They do develop a relationship with counselors and advisors. And then obviously we have a lot of students. I mean, I know the guys could provide you the very specific details about our recruitment efforts and the amount of students that we have. But essentially all the students enrolled qualify under the guidelines as disadvantaged, low income, and so forth. All 3 of us, we advise EOPS students that were designated to assist EOPS, but under the EOPS umbrella, we also have the Next Up program, which is for current and former foster youth. And we also have the CARE program, which is for single parents on cash aid. And also we have the CalWorks program. And all of our advisors and counselors are assigned specifically to help one of the cohorts. We do see them all, but we do have a few counselors and advisors that are designated to work with that specific population. What you see is our leadership team. Patricia Ramirez is our director. Maria Baltasar is our program director. And then Diana Salinas is our program manager. Now, what I would say about them is we do admire their management style. They're definitely individuals that are approachable. We know they value the insights and their employees, whether they're faculty, whether they're classified or students. So we do believe in their leadership and we admire them. We have 8 counselors and 4 advisors. We have 2 advisors here with us right now. The others are probably in the office seeing student appointments, right? Really working hard. Several professional experts and several student assistants as well. And then obviously the star of the show is our students, which is the primary focus of our endeavors here.
All righty. Thank you, Manuel, for giving us a little bit of insight in terms of our management team, our students, and the history of EOPS. Now what we'll turn our focus to is the services that we offer with EOPS. So again, Manuel mentioned, we are a counseling style program. So we offer counseling and educational advising to all of our students. We help students develop comprehensive student education plans. So they meet with us at least 3 times each student per semester to go over all of this. We offer academic progress monitoring. So anytime they need help with specific forms like repeat petitions, academic renewals, we help them with that. We offer EOPS book grants to eligible students. Not all students are eligible, but again, we do offer that to students on a semester basis. Priority registration is probably one of our biggest resource or services that we offer, simply because it helps students register before other students can. So giving them the opportunity to pick and choose classes, schedules based off their availability. There's an exception if they're on academic probation or completed over 100 units, they would not be eligible for this. We offer scholarship support, EOP recommendations, transfer application support, helping them to get from point A, which is BC, to their next endeavor, point B, university, CSU, UC, private, out of state. We offer caps and gowns for all of our graduates. They do have to be current participating EOPS students. If they participate in EOPS in the fall semester, graduate early, finish early, they can still get that for the spring semester to walk during the commencement ceremony. We do help with peer mentoring, additional tutoring referrals for students, so they get an additional session per class per week. And we also offer social and cultural enrichment activities.
So to become eligible for EOPMS, students need to be either a California resident or be 8540 identified. They must submit the actual FAFSA California Dreamer for the current academic year or the next academic year, depending on what semester they're applying for. They must be receiving the California Promise Grant, A or B. If they receive C, the EFC needs to be 0. That's something that we go ahead and pre-screen and check for ourselves. And also they must have below 45 college degree applicable units, be enrolled in full-time status, which is 12 units or more in the semester they're applying for, and also meet one of our EOPS guidelines for the educationally disadvantaged. If the student is part of DSPS has a special eligibility, they can go ahead and get DSPS, EOPS reduced load form. They meet with the DSPS counselor. They assign like, okay, I recommend you only take 6 units. We honor that and they can still be onboarded to our program.
So aside from all of the services we offer, we also do participate in recruitment events here both at BC Bakersfield College or in community events like the Kern County College Night. Here there's examples. I believe the first picture on the left, it shows so I believe it's part of like our first week, welcome back. And then the next one is at the Kern County College Night, which we typically go to the Mechanics Bank Arena. So again, we do have a heavy presence onboarding students both on campus and off campus to try to bring students into the program. Hopefully provide them some information, get them eligible for the programs and get them the resources and services that they will need to, succeed in college. Along with that, some of the workshops that we offer for new incoming students, we offer exposure to campus resources. We do offer mid-semester check-ins, so we want to make sure that students are on track with everything that they're supposed to be doing for that current semester, remind them of any time-sensitive information, workshops, deadlines that they should be worrying about. We have time management, CalFresh, Nexus clinics, CSU, UC application workshop, update workshops for that as well, UC TAP. Financial aid is one of our biggest things. Students do need to have financial aid on file, so we do help them with a renewal for FAFSA California Dream Act. And we also do offer professional development series workshops where we help with bringing in the career education department to help with resumes, cover letters, and interview tips for students. Again, this is just one of our workshops that we offer. This is for our CalWorks students. So we do have these professional development workshops where, we invite students. I think this is a professional dining etiquette or something. So again, we do offer these workshops to students where they benefit, receive a lot of information that's not just academic related, but also on a personal level.
So for mid-semester check-ins, it's an opportunity for us to go ahead and check in with the student to see how they're doing in case they need additional resources or support. Again, we want to make sure that they're successful while they're here at Bakersfield College and participating in our program. So we have like icebreakers, we have like fun activities for them, just to check in with them, and also it's like well-being, right? Like we understand academics is a big portion, but also we want to make it fun for students. So you can see here, for one of our mid-semester check-ins, we had icebreakers, we had presentations, and the presentation included like the upcoming deadlines, resources, to-do items for them to be ready to either register or for graduation, et cetera, transfer. So we try to like, remind them as much as possible that we're here for them. Campus field trips. So we do take campus field trips, one per semester. So it's an opportunity for our students to go ahead and explore what's outside of Bakersfield, right? Sometimes most of our students don't even leave Bakersfield to go check out a different campus, or, coming from their financial or education disadvantaged background, they don't have funds, resources, right? So we try to help out. In the past, we visited UC Santa Barbara, UC Merced, UC Channel Islands, Cal Poly SLO, Northridge, Bakersfield, Stanislaus, Dominguez Hills. CSUB is going to be on our list for this one. This spring, we are trying to stay local, promote local. We work with CSUB a lot, and sometimes a lot of our students tend to transfer to CSUB because it's more affordable, right? So we are working with them, but we do take an opportunity to also look outside of Bakersfield. So here's CSU Stanislaus college experience. They get the college experience, they get in a campus tour, they hear from admissions to see what requirements are needed to become eligible. They get to experience dining in the dining commons. We stop at the bookstore, and we also try to do some type of fun activity for them. This is all paid for. They don't need to pay anything. The program covers everything. They get a per diem where they also get money for lunch and dinner. And we try to do, if times available with us, we try to do a fun activity with them. So, I think for Cal Poly SLO, we let them explore downtown. When we went to Channel Islands, we went to the beach with them, some type of fun activity. Here at a workshop for Cal Poly SLO, we teamed up with the EOP program, which is kind of like our sister program at the CSU system. And they talk about, their requirements, how to become eligible, the resources, and they just wanted to get to know our students because a lot of our students tend to apply to Cal Poly SLO. So they just wanted to get to know a little bit more of our students, but this is one of the presentations that they hosted.
We also do have holiday celebrations for our students, and not only holiday celebrations, but we also do want to celebrate our students' accomplishments. So we, of course, have a graduation ceremony for our EOPS students where they're able to invite their immediate family members to obviously celebrate their accomplishment of graduating from Bakersfield College. So we typically have these here on campus at the Renegade Event Center. We offer them a free meal, their cap and gown and everything, and just basically get to hang out, chill, have fun, have some good food, bring their parents. So parents, family, spouses, kids, all that stuff. But again, it's a good opportunity for them to, share that experience with their loved ones. So the EOPS application, we do have that application open for summer and fall 2025, of course. Spring semester is about to start, so we are working on onboarding our students that apply for spring semester. But if you have any students, whether it's a student or whether it's somebody from the community that may be attending BC very soon, you can direct them to the EOPS website. On the search bar, if you type up EOPS, you should be able to find the EOPS program. On there, you should see the summer fall 2025 application. We should hopefully start processing those applications or working on eligibility review sometime at the end of the spring semester to get them on board for summer. The next steps after submitting that application, we do review this. It does take a few weeks for us to process these applications. We have to review if they have financial aid, if they're enrolled in 12 units, make sure they're not over the 45 unit limit, all that other stuff that we mentioned before. So we do, take a couple weeks to process. After they have been processed, if they're eligible, we will send an email communication to their BC email, letting them know what the next step is. For most students, if they're eligible and they don't need any other documentation, we'll let them know, congratulations, you're eligible. The next step is to schedule an orientation with EOPS. If not, we will request a transcript from the student if they attended or if they disclose that they attended another college, university, because again, we want to make sure that they are not over the 45 unit limit. We'll let them know of their eligibility status for their application. So some students may not be eligible because they may have earned over 45 units. Maybe they're not a full-time student. Maybe they don't have financial aid. It could be a lot of different reasons, but we'll let them know. And in that email, we'll let them know exactly what they need to do to be eligible, if they can, for the EOPS program. And again, with these orientations, we talk to them about the program expectations, what resources, services that we offer, pretty much how to be a successful EOPS student, not only EOPS, but also as BC student. And we offer multiple orientation dates and times, some on Zoom, some in person. And typically we accept applications year round, but again, we are focusing mostly on spring students right now at the moment. So again, we have different platforms. You can find us in person at the CSS building, right on the right side immediately as soon as you walk in the double doors. If you need support on Zoom, we also do have Zoom office hours as well, virtual lobby, Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 5:30, and then Fridays, 8 to 12. You can also email us as well. There's our contact information. Phone number 4351 eops@bakersfieldcollege.edu. We have our Zoom lobby link. We are in CSS second floor, and these are our office hours. And I'll put it back here, but that's pretty much our presentation. I don't know if anybody has any questions in the chat. Stop sharing in a moment. But does anybody have questions here in person on the chat on Zoom?
Oh, yeah, we got one.
Let's go ahead, Laura. I'm sorry, and I think we just can't hear online, so if you want to just type it up in the chat, I'll announce it in person. Does the 45 unit, okay, so question, does the 45 units include schools like SJBC? So SJBC is one of those schools that are not accredited by the accrediting board. So for some of those colleges like SJBC, UEI, Milan, things like that, some of those colleges we will not use those 40, we will not use their units from those colleges here at BC. So they may be able to submit their transcripts over to BC, but they might not be evaluated. They might not get credit here on campus, if that makes sense. So it just depends on the student and depends on the college, university that they attended. So if they're not accredited, we might not use those units for anything. Can you speak on what kind of workspace you provide to your students? In the past, I think I've seen dedicated space for them with free printing, etc. Yes, so we do have a space for all of our students. With EOPS specifically, we do have kind of like a lounge area, couches where they can just kind of hang out, chill, wait until their classes are, gonna start in case it's raining or anything like that. They can always come to our office. We do have computers that have pre-printing, so students are able to print whenever they need to. We also do offer walk-in hours with our educational advisors, and sometimes like during the first week or two with our counselors. So that's also available for students. Specifically, and I won't talk too much about this, but next up, they have their own dedicated space as well in the EOPS office. So that again is for our current or former foster youth. But hopefully that kind of explains a lot. And then we also offer free Scantrons to students, I think, school supplies, depending on the need. We also offer that as well. Thank you, Neil. Other questions?
I guess I just had a quick question. You'll get students get early registration. I can't recall off the top of my head, first day or second? It is first, okay.
So question in person was, do we offer, what type of priority registration is it for students? So we offer first day priority registration to all of our students unless, excuse me, if they are on academic probation 2 or disqualification. Or over 100 units. Thank you. Yeah. Other questions?
I was curious about the kind of courses that you teach students in classrooms. What do you teach?
Several of the counselors teach student development classes, anything from educational planning to college survival skills, life planning, career. That's the nature of the classes.
How many units are there?
Depends, it could be 1 unit or 3 units or 2.
Do they get a grade like?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're transferable, Cal State uses transferable units. Counts for gen ed. There's coursework in Canvas and everything.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that.
Yeah,
All right,
for
thank
sure.
you.
Your questions on Zoom? All right, if there are no questions, thank you guys all for your time, for attending, participating. Have any questions? Hopefully you all got our contact information, but again, you can find us on in the CSS building, second floor to the right. You have our information. You can just look us up on the search bar, and yeah, thank you all for participating. You guys.